Hello guys, my name is Asma and today I'm going to start a new MCQ series in English literature. So my aim in starting this new MCQ series is that most of you guys are looking for MCQ solving channels or people who are going to solve these things for you, because when we are uh, introduced to these 4 points, we often think that which is the correct option and which are the two options which are almost correct, close to the correct option. So basically my idea is to give you some of the points where you can actually uh, point out those which are not the part of it, part of the correct option, which are close to the correct options. So I'm going to start with this new MCQ series where you can have a lot of knowledge about English literature. And let's get started. Okay, so the question number 1 is: Thomas Grace's poems The Bard and the Progress of Poesy belongs to the category of A. Pastoral Elegy, B. Pindaric Odes, C. Horatian Odes, D. None of these. So basically when we talk about pastoral elegy is a kind of poems where we have a lot of village scenes, where we have a lot of countryside scenes. And in Pindaric Odes, which is named after the ancient Greek writer Pindar, are basically the kind of odes where and the other one is the Horatian odes, which is named after the writer Horace, and the other option is none of these. So the Bard and the Progress of Poesy, which was written by Thomas Gray, is a part of the Pindaric odes. Okay, so the correct option is B, Pindaric odes. So let's move on to question number 2. Graham Greene's Our Man in Havana is a satire on. So when we talk about Our Man in Havana, which is a novel by Graham Greene, is a satire on spy novels, because he's writing about the novel which is set in Cuba, and he's basically talking about the spy in the novel. So it's basically a satire on spy novels, not religion, not education. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 3. Paradise Lost is the greatest dash in the English language. So when we talk about Paradise Lost, which we all know is written by Milton and a very important text in Indian literature, in English literature. So it is A allegory, B epic, C ode, or D poem. So when we talk about Paradise Lost, we all know that it's an epic poem and it's a very important text in English literature. So we all should know about it. It's an epic poem written by Milton. So now let's move on to question number 4. Shelley dismissed Keats's poetry by saying, in spite of his transcendental genius, Keats never was nor will be a popular poet. Keats disliked Shelley disliked Keats's poetry because. So basically, in this question, what the question is asking here is, why did Keats did not like the poetry of why did Shelley did not like the poetry of Keats? So when we talk about the romantic poetry, because these two poets come in the category of the romantic poets, we could say that the romantics were influenced by the French revolutions. Basically, they were writing about the French revolutions, and Keats and basically Keats was writing more about nature and more about other things. He was not influenced, or he's not writing much about French revolutions. Or you can see his works as well, where he's talking about the nature, he's talking about nightingale, he's talking about other things than French Revolution. So basically, Shelley is criticizing Keats for not writing about the French Revolution. So the options are: A. Keats's poetry is irrelevant, B. Keats's poetry is devoid of the revolutionary spirit, C. Keats died young, and none of these. Since we all know that Keats's poetry can't be irrelevant because we always read it today, and B, which is Keats's poetry is devoid of the revolutionary spirit, is the correct option, because he's not writing about the revolution, while other writers such as Blake, while Shelley, while everyone who belonged to the category of romantics is writing about the revolution? So the answer is B. Pope's essays on criticism is written in. So when we talk about Pope essay on criticism, the option number 1 is A. Prose, B. Elegiac quatrains, C. Heroic couplet, and D. Banquets. So when we say heroic couplet is used by Chaucer in Wife of Bath's Tale, and again it was used in 17th and 18th century by other writers such as Pope. So the answer is heroic couplet, which was used in essay and criticism. Okay, so the correct option is heroic couplet. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 6. Walter Peters' book Appreciation begins with an essay on. So when we talk about Walter Peters' book Appreciation, which begins with a style. B is the correct option, style. Now let's move on to question number 7. Who was the ruler of England when Pope's The Rape of the Lock was published? So when we talk about Pope's The Rape of the Lock, which was published in 1712. So basically, the answer is option C, Queen Anne. When we talk about George III and George II, they were not the king at that time. The one who was ruling England at that time was Queen Anne, who reigned from 1702 to 1714 when the Pope's The Rape of the Lock was published. Okay, so the correct option is C, Queen Anne. Now let's move on to question number 8. Just as Hardy is a novelist of the region Wessex, Arnold Bennett is a novelist of A. Essex, B. Five Towns, C. Midlands, D. All of these. So when we talk about Hardy's novel, Thomas Hardy's novel, the Wessex is an important region where his novel revolves around. Okay, so when we talk about Arnold Bennett's novel, it's the Five Towns, which is also considered Potteries. So it is these 5 towns in which Arnold Bennett's novels revolves around. So the correct option is B, 5 Towns. Now let's move on to question number 9. The romantic comedy The Spanish Gypsy by Thomas Middleton bears some similarities with Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. B. As You Like It, C. All Is Well That Ends Well, D. None of these. So when we talk about all these options, there are the plays written by Shakespeare, Twelfth Night, As You Like It, All Is Well That Ends Well, and none of these. So Spanish Gypsy, which was written by Thomas Middleton, it's very much similar to As You Like It. So the correct option is As You Like It. Now let's move on to question number 10. Milton's poetic style is usually regarded as. So his style, Milton, who wrote this epic poem Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and basically in all these 4 options his poetic style is regarded as grand, because he's actually wrote various masterpieces in English literature. So the correct option is grand. So guys, we have so far covered 10 questions and I hope you liked it. So if you have any comments, queries, please comment in the comment option, and please let me know if you have any confusions regarding it. Thank you so much, and if you like the video, please like it. Thank you. Bye bye.